Before the ink touched paper, before the words carved their mark in history, Monroe carried the weight of two lives. One lived in mud and smoke, the other in candlelit chambers of negotiation. As a young man, he had felt the cold bite of December wind at the Battle of Trenton. Muskets roared. Ice cracked under boots. Freedom was still a dream whispered through clenched teeth. Monroe's chest carried the scar of that day, a silent reminder that independence was paid for in blood. That scar traveled with him into halls of diplomacy. Years later in Paris, he navigated the fragile courtesies of kings and ministers. He learned that power wore silk as easily as steel. He saw how nations smiled while plotting to swallow smaller ones whole. Each handshake in Europe carried the echo of muskets. Each toast carried the faint scent of gunpowder. By the time he sat in the president's chair, Monroe understood something few did. Battles are not always fought with armies. Sometimes they are fought with sentences. The threat to the Americas was not a cannon on the shore. It was an idea crossing the ocean. It's an idea that land could be taken simply because it was wanted. In his mind, the revolution had never ended. The battlefield had just changed. The enemy no longer wore redcoats. It wore diplomacy, treaties, and the polite smile of imperial ambition. So when Monroe's advisors brought news of European interest in Latin America, the soldier in him felt the danger immediately. The diplomat in him understood the weapon needed, a clear, unshakable declaration. The Monroe Doctrine was not born from a desire for war, but from the memory of it. It carried the weight of frozen rivers, the agony of wounded soldiers, the desperation of a nation gasping for survival. In Monroe's eyes, to let Europe return was to betray the graves of those who had never lived to see the Republic grow. And so, the man who had once shouldered a musket now shouldered a message. The New World is not for sale. No cannon fired. No battle banners waved. But in the quiet corridors of power, the warning rang louder than gunfire.